on the subject of the legal use of weapons in the United States. We have on my left the group that will defend a position in favor, and on my right we have the group that is against. We can start with Raul's opinion. Let's see. Raul, what do you think of the question of today's topic?
The right to position or the word constant of the right to position is correct or was finished as the definition sport I have investigated. Then, then I suitable for I was but in something necessary for person protection.
Great dialogue. We continue with the opposite opinion. What do you think, Cecilio?
Okay, accidental death or incident of family members. Some studies have found that a weapon is 12 times more likely to be used against a family member than against an intruder or a thief coming to commit a crime.
That is why they apply a psychological test to take a look.
Kevin, please, wait a moment. It's not your turn. Cecilio, continue, please.
Okay, thanks. Who owns a firearm are legally responsible for its use. In most legislation, the owner of a weapon has serious responsibility for its use.
Nice opinion. We continue with the opinion in favor. What do you think, Manuel?
Okay, arguing about weapons, clearly hard is cut, but something that is a favor is that the criminal will think twice about committing a crime. It's now that people are armed with weapons, their security as individual or as a way to avoid the crime and having in mind that criminal life is danger.
Sure. What do you think, Gerardo?
But if accepting the use of a weapon, it will increase the rate of interpersonal homicide. For example, the Columbine High School shooting, it was a minor who got a gun so easily. To avoid carrying out the psychological test and hater carrying out his criminal examination of the applicants.
What do you think about this, Fidel?
In countries where there are more weapons, there are fake crimes. Defenders upgrade of weapons and effective element fire. Crimes are guide the cause of the United States as example. According to that from the United States Office of Drugs and Crime, in 2013, the United States motorizing regulate that and here detention homicide rate of 39. It must be said, a few will below the rates recorded in practice are in Latin America. American case are that is because there are high rates of gun prisons in the United States, 100, 1 per 100 in inhabitants.
Kevin Sanchez, what do you have to tell us?
The Constitutional Body, a law project was approved on September 1st, 2019. This law allows any citizen of the Texan people who owns a gunfire in a legal way can carry it in public without permission or any type of training.
Can I talk?
Of course.
Okay. The fact prohibiting weapons does not prevent the of the criminal does not prevent criminal or people for obtain time to commit crimes out of army, goodness, out of army, impunity signs in Apple's. The fact is community signs in Apple's. The fact is the more countries having weapons, the less criminal will be.
Kevin, continue, please.
Okay, thank you. According to data compiled by Archive Gun of Violence, during the first 9 months of 2019, there was an increase of 14% in the number of mass shootings. The incidence of gun violence increased by 50% over the same time period in 2019. Different agencies carried out a study in which they conclude that the USA country hadn't lived a year with as many shootings in 2019. During this year, there were 41 shootings and 2,011 deaths.
What do you think, Kevin Olivo?
If we have considered that the countries where are more weapons, there are a few crimes. Advocates to carry weapons has an effective element to combat the crime. Usually give the examples to the United States according to data from the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. In 2013, the United States, the most recent data available, had international homicide rate of 3.9 point is must be said a figure well, below the rates recorded in the practical and of Latin America. Many gun advocates agree that this is because the United States has high rates of gun ownership.
I have one more argument. Yes. Continue. Okay. The offender will think this argumenting that people are mad. This argument is based on the idea that weapons reaction as habitors of crime. That is, now the victim has gone. The offender will regret commenting the drink because his life is danger. However, those don't take into account that dice might have the post effect. The points in case was read a very important saying they are good points. So that there are weapons in the United States because the more weapons the country has serves allowing from Greenwood Times this advertising so.
Added of this, I only have to say one more thing. I have to say we want to arm ourselves to defend ourselves because the institution do not work and we have to defend those.